Ernest here. Today's topic is tuning a 357 down to a 22 caliber 700 mil barrel. We're going to tune it for 18 grains. Our hammer spring preload at a preload is 7.54. Rake pressure 140 bars. All right, and I'll show you the speed we're getting.
842.
This is at minimum.
844.
Your valve adjuster, never mind, correction. The valve adjuster is 7.52 millimeter. All right. And we got the power wheel on minimum. The hammer spring preload is 12.20.
837. 837.
And you put all the way to max, we're getting
951. 958.
All right. This valve adjuster, you could move it in and back to get your spread, whatever ammo you're using. All right. Depending on ammo, if you know your sweet spot, you could move the velocity max and minimum. All right. The modification to get this spec is using the spring here. It's 40 mil long, 6.84 width, the wire size 0.75. Then we're using this rubber ball, 5.5 rubber ball. You just slide it right there. Then we're going to use this 6 mm ball valve on your valve adjuster. And you slide it in, put the screw on your valve adjuster, and screw it in till you get 7.54. All right, you just kind of measure the actual valve knob you actually turn and the back of the shoulder here to get 7.54 to get that speed. All right.
900.
On the next video, we'll carry over on a 357. You don't have to mess with hammer spring preload or the rake pressure. So you leave the rake pressure alone and a hammer spring preload. And all you have to adjust is your valve adjuster. You unscrew it back all the way to 12.20. When you have that setting on 357, you'll have speed variation between 652 on minimum, max 865. This is a customer's gun. He wants it set at 865 on max because that's the most accurate for 81 grain pellets. All right. These mods or these parts, could be had at the. Well, I'll give you a link where it's available. And most of these balls here you could order from FX. All right. More detail later, but our next script is a 357. I'll show you how that one works out. All right. All right. Now I just replaced the barrel from a 22 to a 357, and I haven't touched a thing on his gun because last video was set up for a 22 caliber. Now just install the barrel and we're going to shoot it without adjusting anything and see what kind of numbers we're getting. And the battery went dead on the iPhone, so we can't use the FX Chrony, but there's a Pro Chrony here. You can see the numbers. All right, let's see what we got. At low, 482 feet per second, 81 grain 357. Now I'll jack it up to max, 580. All right, now, remember the setting I told you is 12.20 valve adjuster clearance here, adjustment. This is at 7.54 set up for 22 caliber. Now we're going to back it out and set it at 12.20. Let me get other side here. $9.39. $11.87. Getting close. $12.97. Too much. $12.50. Say what? Let's say 12.04. We're trying to get on or about. So it's 12:37. We'll see that. All right. We'll put it at minimum. Because our original setting at minimum is around 652. 648 right there. Oh, out of lead. Remember, I haven't touched a thing on this gun except for the valve adjuster. Rake pressure still 140 bars. Hammer spring preload is 18.06. Maybe I messed up on a 22, but the preload was the same at 18.06. So it's less than wear and tear on your preload and your rake pressure. Your adjustment screw on your rig, so you don't have to mess with that. Just the valve adjuster with this modification. So if you have 25 caliber, you have to find a sweet spot, the proper setting for that. All right, so you can jump around caliber to caliber if you only have one impact. That couldn't do it all. 357 down to 22. All right. 655. Now we'll crank it up to 1. 700. Around hovering on 700. That's on 732. That's 768 on power 3. On 4. And around 805 on 4. Now 5. 840. 844. Max. 864. 873. 865. Yeah, 866. So you decide to go down to 22. All I have to do is put your 22 barrel in, screw in your valve adjuster to 7.54. You're down to your speed setting for a 22 caliber. All right, just the valve adjuster, nothing else. All right, this helps out. Good. If it doesn't, you got a lot of questions, drop me a line. All right? Talk later.